Hi, today we are going to talk about camp registrations and we are going to understand how we can create PDF file from the submissions that we received from this particular form. As you can see in the background, I have got a camp registration form which I have created in Notion, which has different fields that the user can enter. So once all the fields are entered and the user clicks on submit, the responses get captured onto the responses view that you see over here. What I want to create is an automation setup wherein I can create PDF files on automation for every submission that I receive over here. For this, we'll be using a tool known as PDF Output. PDF Output will help you create PDF files from a Google document with the help of a Notion database. So let us understand how this will work. Click on Create PDF and simply continue with your existing account which you want to use for this purpose. So I'm going to quickly sign in with one of my account which I have over here, and then we will understand the rest of the steps for the automation. So as you sign in, you will be asked to connect your database as well as the document. Once both these things are connected, you need to map the properties of the database onto the document and then create the PDF files. So first is connecting the database. So click on the drop down and click on Add Notion Database. This will allow you to add the database from your Notion account. So copy the title of the database. In this case, it is camp registration form. Simply copy the title of this database. Go back to your setup screen, click on next, and you have two options. Either you can choose a default template. So if you go with this first option, it will create a copy of a Notion database on your account which you can use for the testing purposes. We do not want to test anything, we want to use a real database. So just click on select pages over here and then again click on select pages. So now it will ask you to add the database inside the search pages field. So just paste the database title which you have copied and it will automatically show the registration form over here. Click on this and the registration form is now added. If you click on the drop down for the private section, you will be able to see the registration form populate over here, which we are going to use for the automation process. Now, whenever you are adding a database, always copy the database title and put it inside the search pages field. This will allow you to add the database correctly. Do not add the database by selecting the pages from this list, because in that case, if there are a lot of databases that are there in the pages, it may not correctly add the database properly in the first attempt. So to make the experience smooth, always add the database by searching for the database inside the search pages and then add the database. Another thing which I want to highlight is if your database has multiple relation and roller properties. So let's say the camp registration form is connected with database A and database B through relation property. Then you need to add the camp registration form, you need to add the database A, and you also need to add the database B, which is connected through relation. If you do not add all the databases, the PDF file will not have the relation and roller properties added to that. Okay. So to add the relation and roller properties onto the PDF file, always connect all the databases which you are using, including the relational databases which is being used. Having said that, scroll down and click on allow access, and now you will be given access to the registration form which you can use for the rest of the steps. So let's wait for a few seconds. Sometimes it may not load the database in the first attempt, so just refresh once or twice and you will be able to see the database populate over here for your use case. So let me refresh it once again and it will be able to show me the database which I can use for the remaining steps. So you can see the camp registration form is now appearing. If you scroll down, you will be able to see all the properties of the registration form which we have created over here, visible one below the other. These are the properties which we can use to tag on the document to create the PDFs on automation. So next is adding the document to the setup. So I'll just click on add Google document. I have two options. Either I can select an existing document. So if there are any existing document on your drive, so if I click on this, it will ask you to select any existing document on your drive, which you can obviously select for this automation setup. I don't have any such existing document available, so I will create a new demo document. So click on add demo document and it will create a new raw demo document which you can use for the automation setup. So as you can see, it has already created a demo document for us. And what it has also done for us is it has automatically created all the placeholders for us one below the other. So you can see everything that is placed inside double curly brackets are the exact same placeholders which are there in this particular responses database. So as an example, we have address, we have question, we have tag, desired name tag. All these fields are also there inside these double curly brackets, which will be mapped to the database data and it will be used to create the PDF file. So your address will be replaced with the address value that we have over here. Similarly, your date of birth, tag name, and email, and all these fields will be replaced with the values that you see over here, and then the PDFs will be created. So for this, what we can also do is, if you see on the right side, you can see all the properties visible over here. If you want to manually add any properties, let's say I want to add the last name, so I can click on copy. It will copy the last name value. I can go to the document and I can put it anywhere. So let's say I want to put it over here. I can use Control V or Command V on my keyboard, which is the shortcut key, and this will paste the property onto the document. Okay. So I can copy any property from here, let's say phone number, and I can put it on the document using Control V or Command V. That is the simplest and easiest way to map all the fields. Okay. But I will not do that because all the fields are automatically mapped. What I can do next is I can set up the PDF file name. Okay. So the PDF file name is how you want the PDF files to be created by the proper name. I want to create the PDF file name by the desired name tag that we have over here. So I will select that particular column. So all the files that will be generated by this particular column reference. And alongside this, if you scroll to the right side of the responses, you will be able to see two additional properties which will be visible. Okay. So let us see where the properties are. So let me refresh it once again so that we will be able to see the properties appear over here. Yes, so you can see these two additional columns which are already added over here. One is generate PDF, one is PDF file. If any record is set as ready to generate, the PDF files will be created only for those specific records, and the PDFs created will be stored over here in the PDF file column that you can see over here. So make sure to mark the records as ready to generate whatever you want to create, and then proceed with the download PDF button. So if you click on this, it will now start downloading the PDFs, and you will be able to see the PDFs populate over here inside the PDF file column that you see. First, it will download the PDF onto the downloads folder, and it will automatically generate the PDF inside the PDF files. So let me click to open up this particular file, and we will see how it is automatically mapped. So you can see all the placeholders have been automatically mapped with the values that we have in the database. And similarly for the second record, you can also see that a second record, all the values are automatically mapped. So for both the files, the PDFs generated have the values automatically mapped and everything is created instantly. Okay, this is how PDF output operates. But the beautiful thing about this tool is that once everything is set up, you can simply click on setup Notion automation, and it will create an automation system which will generate PDFs forever. So now you do not need to go back to PDF output ever again. All you need to do is, once the response is submitted through this particular form, you can simply mark the records as ready to generate, and it will automatically create the PDF file right over here. So you do not need to navigate back to PDF output and do all these mappings and generate the documents. You simply need to put the record to ready to generate whenever a new record is created, and the PDF files will automatically be created for a use case right over here in the PDF files column. So this is hands-free and this works real time, and this is how you can use this tool to save a lot of time and create the PDFs directly inside the database over here. I hope this explanation was helpful to you. If you still have questions, just use this chat bubble and send me a message with your queries. I'll be able to take up the issues on that. Otherwise, you also have an option to use this contact window at the bottom of the main page. So simply send me a message through this contact section and I'll be able to take up any issues on this. You even can book a free demo if you want to have a quick walkthrough of what I just